folks from local Philadelphia here, and I appreciate you all being here for my retirement ceremony. This is a very informal thing. These events range from, a 2-hour production to just sign a piece of paper and out of the Navy. So what we're going to do today is just follow the program. We're going to go through the presentation of the awards. There are several awards. I'm going to provide you with some remarks. We're going to have a reading of the watch, which is the watch is very significant in the Navy. When you're on ship, that's your duty section. You're responsible for the lives and safety of the shipmates, for the ship, the operation of the ship, for the crew, and it's just very significant. So the exiting of the Navy is sort of a changing of the watch, passing the mantle on to a new group of sailors, new group of folks. And then we'll have the reading of my orders from the Navy, telling me that I'm no longer in the active Navy. I'm going to be transferred to the retired reserve. And basically, the ceremony will conclude, and we'll continue drinking and having a good time, commiserating, cutting the cake, eating food, and there you go. Thank you.
Sad, Jim. That was sad.
That was an honor, man. It wasn't like
That was sad.
So with that, I do have assisting me tonight. I have Master Chief James Burnett and Senior Chief Mary Walker, both of whom have had the pleasure or the terror of having served with me at my most recent command and being in my command cadre. Don't be nice, because I heard you in my speech. Anytime, okay? But they're here to assist me with the ceremony. So now we will have the presentation of awards.
And this is from James P. Moran, House of Representatives, to Commander George Gascer. Dear Commander Gascer, I would like to send you my best wishes and congratulations to you on your 25 years of service to the United States Navy Reserves. Public service is a higher calling, and your distinguished crew with the United States Navy will have a positive impact within the organization for years to come. Your commitment to the Navy and the example that you have set forth for the past 25 years has helped to improve the work environment within your organization. On behalf of the people of Virginia's 8th Congressional District, I would like to thank you for your service and offer my best wishes on your future endeavors. Sincerely, Jim Moran.
I don't want to take away from the distinguished members' recognition of me, but that thank you letter did come with a return envelope. I'm supposed to make guess for contributions here or what, but don't surprise me. Next.
Next is a certificate of appreciation for service and services in the United States of America presented to Commander George CDR Gascer, USN. I extend to you with my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of the military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps, and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Barack Obama, Commander-in-Chief.
All right.
Next, this is an award from the Department of the Navy Marine Corps Commendation Medal. This is to certify that the Secretary of the Navy has awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal, Gold Star, in lieu of second award to Commander George R. Gascer, United States Navy, for meritorious service as Commanding Officer, Volunteer Training Unit 0614 Gulf from October 2009 to June 2012. Commander Gascer's visionary leadership was instrumental in the creation of the unit's core cadre, providing a self-sustaining administrative management system for the unit. An exemplary manager, he personally developed a new indoctrination program leading to a 90% accountability rating, a 20% increase in unit readiness, and a 25% increase in total medical readiness for over 130 members. His efforts resulted in 12 successful mobilizations, providing 6,500 man days of direct overseas operational support. highlights the culmination of 25 years of honorable and dedicated service and is in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. Signed for R.B. Johnson, Captain, U.S. Navy, Commanding Officer, Naval Air Facility, Washington. Yeah, we did that for you.
Well, I know, that's why you're here. I'm not letting the needles anywhere near you.
Damn, after 6 years, we used it once.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's leaving, all right. Sorry. Hey, you.
Okay, I want to thank everyone for coming tonight to this rather abbreviated retirement ceremony. I think the celebration is the more important part, being able to socialize, internalize, and get to know each other better, and to see friends, some of whom I haven't seen in a very long time. Some friends are here tonight that I haven't seen in maybe 4 or 5, 6 years, and traveled quite a significant distance to be here. Your presence means an awful lot to me. You took the SEPTA train here from Warminster. Yeah, I'll mention you later in this, so don't worry about it. Okay. I promise you, though, that I'm going to be brief, okay? It's not going on for a full hour or an hour and a half. That I think Master Chief and Senior Chief have seen some folks go on about their careers. It makes you sort of appreciate them leaving if they do that. The program that has been passed around has my bio in it, my military bio. No need to go into any great detail. I tell you, if you could do that for any reunion or any sort of a homecoming event you go to at schools or colleges, it's great. You always end up just having to repeat the same stories about yourself, what you've done, where you've been, who you see, and everything. So just print it out, publish it, put it out there so the crowd can be good shit. Okay? You know, the other thing is too, telling the same story over and over again. My friends remind me it's becoming a lot more easier for me as time goes on. So I guess forgetfulness is setting in. You know, my Navy career started back in 1987. Both of my careers, my civilian career, my Navy career started, just started walking down the hall at Maritime College in between classes. I stopped in an office. The first office I stopped in once, a friend said, "Hey, this company's interviewing, why don't you go in and meet with them?" And I took out a resume out of my backpack and just, flattened it out, got the creases out of it, and went and met with them, and got my first job offer with John J. McMullen in Washington. That's a time when you used to have a job before you left college. Yeah, that was the time. Times are different now. Okay, and that was with John J. McMullen Associates in Arlington. That's what brought me down to the D.C. area. The other office I visited was the ROTC office. And they said, "Hey, why don't you consider a direct commission? You're eligible." I did the paperwork and accepted it, and basically, got a direct commission in Navy Reserve. A co-worker at McMullen was a captain, Kent Weber. And he told me, "Why don't you do the drilling reserve stuff? It's 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year." And sounded like a good deal, so I went for that. And it got me interested in the active reserves. I have no regrets. I got to do and achieve things I would not have otherwise been able to achieve. I was recalled to active duty for Desert Shield, Desert Storm under Bush 1. Okay, so I was no longer I was in the Navy no more than 2 years, and all of a sudden they gave me a call and said, "We got good news and bad news." I said, "What's the good news?" They said, "Don't worry about what to wear to work." I said, "What's the bad news?" They said, "Well, you're recalled to active duty." I'm like, "Okay, fine." I got to conduct amphibious operations in the canals of Brussels after a visit to NATO's headquarters in Brussels. And after a couple more drinks, I'll share with those of you that are interested in what that actually involved. I got to serve as a flag agent for 2 admirals over there, and basically got to learn very early in my career the inner workings at higher levels of certain organizations, and how certain people move and operate, and how things get done. I got to use my merchant marine education from SUNY Maritime College. US Jack, go SUNY, right? There you go. To support our Navy Strategic Sea Lift and Fleet Support Mission. The command I was at were all civilian-run ships, actually. the crews were civilians, and it was Navy folks, Navy officers running it, moving, mark the Army's gear, from point A to point B. So that was where I spent most of my career. I spanned over 25 years. Many here are very familiar with the answer. I can't stay out late, got duty this weekend. I've encountered and served with many interesting people from all walks of life and civilian careers during that time. Sometimes, and Master Chief and Senior Chief will tell you, sometimes you just meet these people for one weekend. And they're moving on to something else. When you talk to them, you hear their story, and it's like, wow, they're amazing. Unfortunately, you don't remember their goddamn names. I can't even tell you the names of people that we had on the muster a year ago in that unit. Seriously, there's just so many people. It just comes and goes. Very transient, but very consistent. You remember them for what they were like, how they acted, and what they contributed, or what they didn't contribute. There are both folks that don't contribute out there. My final duty activity was and the one I'm most proud of was as executive officer and then commanding officer of the unit you mentioned, BTU 0614 Gulf. A more eclectic group of misfits, outcasts, and at all times truly professional and dedicated people has not been assembled since McHale's Navy. My mission and the mission of my core cadre, two of the most key players that are here, were to inspire them, rehabilitate their careers, which is a nice way of saying keeping them out of jail, keep them busy or get them out of the Navy. So we were able to achieve that with all of them. We had actually positive and negative retention goals. We had goals for people to keep in, and we had goals for people we wanted to ship out. So we did both very, very effectively. I could not have had the success I did without the help of the command cadre we mentioned. And unfortunately, some of whom could not be here. They have drill next weekend. But two that did make it here, Master Chief Jane Barnett and Senior Chief Mary Walker, were instrumental in my success at that unit. To say the senior enlisted really run the Navy and keeps the officers in line. As I was constantly reminded by my senior enlisted, both of them, the mission of the Chief Petty Officer in the Navy, and this is unlike any other service in the military. This is unique to the Navy's senior enlisted, non-commissioned officers, are that they are to train junior officers. And unfortunately, many of the superior officers in our unit also required their type of training, which they were very effectively happy to provide. Okay. So basically, I decided to have a low-key event in celebration of my 25 years with family and friends. I want to thank my friends local in Philadelphia. I want to thank my friends from Washington and others who traveled from even a greater distance to be here tonight. John Malone, I think you traveled the furthest from Vegas, so I have $5 in free slot play for you over at the Sugar House Casino down here on the river. We'll see how far they get. You're all right, ready to collect, right? I want to thank my close friends of many years, Andy, John, Ray, Sean, Josh, Dr. Pat, for always being there, the good times and the bad. I look forward to their continued friendship with additional weekends free, which they may regret. I want to thank the members of my unit, BTU 0614G, and I hope you'll relay that to them next year weekend, Master Chief and Senior Chief, because I will be doing other things next weekend. But especially Master Chief and Senior Chief for being here tonight. In appreciation of their service to our Navy, to our country, and support of me, I would like to present them with each with a floral arrangement.
You do have a heart.
My intent is to make you cry.
It's very small.
Speech, okay? Thank you, Patrick. Okay, and thank you very much once again for your assistance over the years, for being here, and for your support. And for the most important people in my life. If anyone told me how lucky I would be to have you both with me here this day, I would never believe them, but here you both are. You've supported me, inspired me, and motivated me through the years. I sometimes have not made it easy, but you persisted, and because of your persistence, I've got the strength to continue and to do my best. I thank you both, my loving parents, George and CDR Gascer.
Good job, Mom and Dad.
Okay, so that concludes my speech. It wasn't too long. Hopefully it kept you entertained. I welled up a little bit. I don't think I went to full bawling. Did have a couple of those though, but that's fine. That's what this is about. It's about remembering, about commemorating and celebrating, and that's what I'm looking forward to the rest of the week. At this time, I would ask Master Chief Burnett to read the watch, which is found on the back of the program. And then that would be followed immediately by reading of the orders to transfer me to the retired reserve. Master Chief, please.
The Navy, we have many traditions. The Lodge is one of those traditions. For 25 years, this sailor has stood the watch. While some of us were on our bunks at night, this sailor stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning our trade, this shipmate stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, this shipmate stood the watch. In those years when the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizon of history, this shipmate stood the watch. Many times, he would cast an eye ashore and see his family standing there, needing his guidance and help, needing his hand to hold during those hard times. But still, he stood the watch. He stood the watch for 25 years. He stood the watch so that we, our families, and our fellow countrymen would sleep soundly in safety each and every night, knowing that a sailor stood the watch. Today we are here to say to the shipmate, the watch stands relieved. Relieved by those you have trained, guided, and led. Commander Gascer, you stand relieved. We have the watch. Fair winds and following seas.
Thank you, Master Chief. Attention, orders.
From Commander, Naval Personnel Command, to Commander George Gascer, USN. Retirement order and transfer authorization to retired reserve status. Per references A and B, the Secretary of the Navy approved your request and authorized your transfer to retired reserve status effective 1 September 2012. Enclosure 1 is your certificate of retirement. Your dedicated service to the Navy and your country is deeply appreciated. May you enjoy every success and happiness in the future. Signed, D.E. Flaherty, Assistant Commander for Reserve Personnel Command Management.
Thank you very much. Okay, let me use one of my most favorite Navy expressions. With that, the bar is open. Splice the main brace.